This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Howdy everybody, and welcome to the NRE Power Systems Cup Series Kansas 130 here at Kansas Speedway. You're watching Racecraft TV. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Tyler Vickery. 130 laps are planned here tonight for the NRE Power Systems Cup Series cars. Here tonight, stages of 55, 55, and a 20-lap shootout at the end. It's going to provide for some very exciting racing. Alongside of me, I got Tyler standing by. And Tyler, how you feeling about this race?
I want to say more mixed emotions. I love Kansas, but I know there's a lot of drivers up and down the grid, and even just officials where some people feel like it's too much of a restrictor plate track. You get a lot of driver side drafting, as well as pack racing as well, just because of how the design of Kansas is.
Yeah, Kansas is one of those odd tracks where the banking in the first corners are different than the banking at the end corners, and it's kind of got that Texas vibe, but also it's going to be very tricky to manage these tires throughout the race. And in these early stages, that's going to be a big factor, but with that short 20-lap sprint final, I feel like tire wear is going to just be more of a factor of looking for some stage points than the final 20-lap shootout. But we're going to find out. We're currently at qualifying, so let's go out there onto the grid.
Yeah, and currently, Greg Wellen tops the leaderboard right now with a 29.75, and then just behind Derek Fulton in second. We got 10 drivers currently putting in a lap. Looking on Matthew T. I gotta quit doing that. Matthew Lee, as he's getting ready to pull out.
That's the slowest pull out ever.
I know, it's very slow, in fact. And we're gonna wait to see what kind of lap time he can pull here. But just adding into what you were saying, Austin, about the tire wear. I mean, with Kansas, you have a lot shorter turning, a lot higher banking. The one big difference though with Kansas is you have to get on the brakes in turn 1 and 2. 3 and 4, oh, you can go flat out as quick as you want. It's almost reverse of what the new layout of Texas is, and it's the tire wear is going to be massive, especially if you're going full throttle. As we see, Justin Michaels has a slow pullout as well. Both Matthew Lee and Justin Michaels warming up their tires, I'm assuming. So we'll
That's the
get
slowest
ready to
way I've
see
ever
these
seen
guys.
somebody warm up their tires. I feel like they're just going for that right moment. They're entering 7 minutes 30 into this qualifying session, so there they now go. There goes Matthew. So Lajar's waiting for that final moment. Maybe the weather is just helping him a little bit, but there's Justin Michael just getting out onto the track right now as he comes across the tri-oval and across the start line. Also out on track right now is Rhett Tucker in that 99.
Tucker's had a really rough start to the season already. As Tucker begins his first flying lap, trying to see if he can make a comeback here early in the season after the really disappointing starts the last 2 weeks.
As we got Justin Michael coming out of turn 4 right now, heading into the tri-oval, going all the way down low. Justin Michael's first time is going to put him into 9th place. Rhett Tucker's first time is going to put him into 10th. Here comes Matthew Lee. He's sitting in 11th, right behind Rhett Tucker.
And Justin Michael runs a quicker first lap, but second lap here is always going to be quicker. Here comes Michaels coming down on the apron all the way down to the line. And
that's
pole position right now. And here comes Matthew Lee and Rhett Tucker. Matthew Lee going to be first. And Matthew Lee's third quickest. And
Tucker
Rhett Tucker fifth. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Justin Michael, late start, but what a late finish. 2:29.73 for Justin Michael. And, man, that is a time to beat. And with just 30 seconds left here in qualifying, we got Nicholas Sacco, Ryan Kendall, and Andrew Navarro still in the pit lane right now, but it's Justin Michael sitting up there on top spot. And you got that just by 100th of a second to Greg Wellen right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the first 4, or actually even the top 5, Justin Michael with the 29.73, and then you have Rhett Tucker, or actually Gabriel Ellison, who is in 6th, running a 29.80. So, I mean, these guys are within hundredths of a second of each other right now, just with that qualifying time alone.
And here is our starting grid of the day. Looking all the way up at the top. Justin Michael is your butt kicker pole position award winner, followed by Greg Wellen, Matthew Lee, Derek Fulton, Rhett Tucker, Gabriel Ellison, Clinton Castleberry, Brady LaBeouf, Wayne Lowe, Chad Coleman, Richard Beasley, Bob Williams, followed by Tori Thompson, Nicholas Sacco, and Andrew Navarro with Ryan Kendall at the end of the grid. Let's go on board of our butt kicker pole position winner, and wish him some luck as that goes all the way to Justin Michael, and he's gonna be very happy in that 87 machine. That Toyota is looking very fast ahead of this grid, and with the unique starting, we got unique stage systems where the first stages are longer than the very final stage. That's going to be some good track position in order to get to those stage points. As I just had a heart and mouth moment.
But yeah, I can agree with you on that. The stages being 55, 55, and 20. Stages 1 and 2 are, as long as they're a long run, it's gonna be just like how it was with Darlington. These guys are trying to make that fuel window that fuel last as long as they can. Try to time it on pit stops, and I can definitely say this: pit stops are going to be key, especially here at Kansas. You're going roughly almost 200 mile an hour on this banked oval for Kansas, and with the unique aspect too of where 3 and 4 you're going flat out. So going about 200 miles an hour and trying to get down to, I believe the pit limit speed here is 55. So that's, I mean, 150-mile-an-hour deceleration. That is huge, especially when you're going flat out through 3 and 4.
I want to point out something funny. On that, when everyone was getting ready, Itchy Navarro went in reverse.
Well, then.
That's something out of the corner of my eye. Everyone was getting closer, getting closer. I think he accidentally engaged reverse instead of first. Some of these drivers drive an H pattern, and you know, that's actually a fairly common mistake.
Yeah, that's happened a few times to me before.
Not to me, because I drive races where everyone uses sequential. Though then again, I won't talk about my upshifting and how many times I've missed third.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't forget that.
Yeah, but I have an excuse. I can't feel my hand, man.
Fair point.
Well, lights are out on the pace car. It pulls in. All the field is waiting for Justin Michael to take the green flag. Green flag's in the air. You're here watching the NRE Power System Cup Series Kansas 130 here at Kansas on Racecraft TV. And as green goes, look at that. Justin Michael and Matthew Lee nose to tail with each other. Rhett Tucker sitting in third place as, well, really the big runners all on that bottom line just start pulling away with everybody. And Greg Wellen is falling down the field. He's just holding the outside line as Gabriel Elson dives down low.
I think
Oh,
Greg Wellen.
Oh, Clinton Casper got turned around hard into Brady LaBeouf.
Big incident. Oh, and there's some more contact behind as well. Cars sliding through the grass as well. Torrey Thompson, I believe, has crashed into pit road as well.
Yeah, look at the back of Torrey Thompson. Very.
Yeah, man.
Well, that did not take long. Clinton Casper got loose. Here's the 34 of Wayne Lowe. Just got tapped in the back by Castleberry. Man. Andrew Navarro had a heart-and-mouth moment. Let's ride on board with him. Happening all in front of him. And take a little ride across the dirt line. Chad Coleman also had that.
Chad Coleman, too. Oh, gosh. Okay. I think Chad Coleman needs a new pair of pants after that.
Man, that all happened in front of Chad Coleman. I want to see what happened to Torrey Thompson, though. Oh, he got hit from behind.
Incident. Oh. I think we might need to look further back. I think he might have gotten on the brakes a little too hard and lost it on by himself. I mean, so that's what I'm thinking, especially when he was further in the back. Let's see.
Where's Torrey?
Side by side with Fulton. Side by side with Fulton. Everything running clean here.
That's
you
Navarro.
see the 29. Oh yeah, that's right. And then Saka right behind, holding that low line. The wreck happens. He's checking up. Ooh, he got all loose and that was all by himself. Ooh.
Right into Kendall.
Yep.
Well, as we are live right now, Justin Michael decided to go into the pit lane as Matthew Lee, Rhett Tucker, Ellison, Coleman, Navarro, and Williams decided to stay out. Michael, Wellen, Fulton, LaBeouf, Lowe, Castleberry, Beasley, Sacco, Kendall, and Torrey Thompson all in the pit lane. Remember, no faster pairs in this series, so if you got into that wreck, it's not going to be good for you as Michael leads out that race off pit road, followed by Wellen, Fulton, Sacco, and Richard Beasley, and Brady LaBeouf cannot catch a break. It's 3 races and 3 unfortunate incidents near the start of this race.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Brady because once again, he had nowhere to go. He was just minding his own business and saw the incident happen. All he could do is just hope for the best, and instead he just had the worst luck out of it again. So we're looking at a replay. You see Castleberry slide. He's holding his line, and it's just nothing he could do there. I mean, man, I feel bad for Brady because that's another. Oh, gosh. You could see it coming too. You could already see him bracing for it. Man, I feel bad for Brady. That was really unfortunate there. Man, heavy impact on the right side too.
Very unfortunate for Brady LaBeouf as he sits in the pit lane. Still has more cars go back into the pits. Bolton and Wellen both go into the pits, I believe, to get some more repairs on those cars or just top off on fuel or something.
Top off on fuel.
Matthew Lee leading out the race, lets it out on the pace car. So we're going back to green flag racing very soon as we come to turns 3 and 4.
And Welland's looking at long game here, especially with 55 lap stages. We're right now getting ready to cross over lap 5, so I believe fuel is still set at 50% fuel, am I correct?
Yes, there is a 50% fuel reduction, so the earlier stops completely make sense, but they're still going to have to go in again, and remember, they have a limited amount of tire sets available to them. So let's try this again. Pace car is off. 50 laps remain here in stage 1. Matthew Lee on the front, and he's going to take it a green. Oh, look at that start by Gabriel Ellison immediately jumping up there into second place.
And right now with the start of this race, that bottom line is going to be key on the starts. You get a much more grip on the bottom compared to the top. So once these guys start playing more of the middle line and maybe even that low third tier line, these guys are really going to start making some ground. As you can see, Wayne Lowe making easy work on Bob Williamson. Here comes Kendall. Got involved in that. Ooh, boy.
There's the chopped nose right there. And,
Bob
Lowe's getting Bob Williams getting very crazy right there.
Yeah, that was, you just got to watch that transition on the here, because that transition from apron to the turn to the racetrack, that can spell some really dangerous moments like that.
Angie Navarre looking to get a drag race on Rhett Tucker. He's got the inside line. He's going to send it down low into that corner. He's got that move made. And now Chad Coleman going to try to follow Navarro as Navarro goes way up the track, almost into Rhett Tucker as Rhett Tucker tries to go back down low and fight with Andrew Navarro as he jumps up into third place. And Rhett is just on that gearbox. But look what Rhett's doing. He's running that top line. He's going to try to save those tires as long as they can and use that advantage at the end of the run. As Justin Michael and Chad Coleman are side by side, Michael, our pole sitter, goes down low and takes that fourth place back.
That's quick work of it, and you can see these guys. You can see the front runners still all grouped together, trying to. Oh boy, as Navarro is trying to decide there what line he wanted to take.
He's favoring that outside.
Yeah, and that you can see the groove.
Navarro.
An aggressive move as well.
Well, he's now on the inside of Ellison. He's going to try to pick his way up there to second place, force Gabriel Ellison into a bad line. And there they go. Navarro and Tucker up in the ranks now. And now Rhett Tucker looking on Navarro.
Meanwhile, Navarro trying to defend Gabriel Ellison. Tucker's trying to look on the inside of Matthew Lee. Boy, you can already see the two different lines developing by both Navarro and Lee. As Navarro and Rhett Tucker now are side by side heading into 3.
Navarro getting the draft off of Matthew Lee to hold him into speed around the outside, but Tucker has that inside line on Navarro, and Matthew Lee is just playing devil's advocate on who's getting the draft and who's not. And if I was Matthew Lee, I'd be favoring that outside line on those back straights to just give Rhett a little bit of trouble on those straights, because the longer you stay down there, the more you're going to cook out those tires. And those exit that Matthew Lee has is just giving Navarro a massive speed boost as here comes Navarro.
And but then here comes that low line advantage of where you can hold the speed much better.
Well, there's no advantage right there. Tucker even sees that. He had a good run, so he's now going down the outside as Andrew Navarro takes the lead.
Ellison had to check up a little because he was like, I did not want to go 3 wide there. Navarro barely leading out on Matthew Lee as Lee comes sliding up the track.
Very loose right there.
Okay.
And new leader for, I would say, cemented new leader is Andrew Navarro. Rhett Tucker in second now, battling with Matthew Lee. But Lee is now falling down the field as that outside line has got some oomph to it and pulling away from everyone else.
Yeah, starting to pull away. These top 5 are. But looking further back, you got Justin Michael and Wayne Lowe. Wayne Lowe just got around Chad Coleman, and you could just see that battle too with Chad Coleman and Justin, and actually not Justin Michael, Chad Coleman and Wayne Lowe. They're trying to catch up to this 5-car battle.
Yeah, Matthew Lee is still stuck on that bottom line as the line has completely changed to the outside advantage now, as he's fallen all the way down to 5th place as Justin Michael ahead of him now, looking down to the inside of Gabriel Elson. He was just playing patience with everybody and just saving those tires, and he's got 1, he's got 2, he's looking for 3. He's not going to get 3, but he's going to go side by side. Rhett Tucker Navarro's going to give it a little bit of draft, and he's going to slot right in there in 3rd place.
And Navarro's trying to play defensive here. Michael's trying to decide when he wants to make the aggressive move. You can see Ellison holding back and Matthew Lee holding back. I think they've kind of noticed that a few other drivers are coming into the mix now. You can even see in the camera view some of the guys further back coming in. Meanwhile, Navarro just flirting with that wall, and so is Rhett Tucker.
It's pretty much everybody on that top line starts flirting with that wall as we ride on board of Justin Michaels. He sends one on Rhett Tucker into turns 3. He's got a good run heading into 4, but he's going to run out of speed off the exit. So here comes Tucker around that outside with that draft advantage from Navarro, but now Navarro drops down low to give Justin Michael some right there, but Justin Michael unable to get that advantage as Ellison's in the wall.
Yeah, that was actually, sorry, Ellison. I was thinking Navarro for some reason. I got to get those 2 numbers fixed on myself. Yeah, and Ellison barely scraping the outside wall there. Not going to be a lot of damage, especially with how much of a light contact that was. But look at the 34 now of Wayne looking on the inside.
Wayne Lowe looking low. Coming out of turn 4. That outside line just has that speed coming out of that corner. It's just so advantage for him. And boom shakalaka boom boom. He's got it.
At the same time, you can see Ellison's still fighting back. It's at that point now these tires are starting to get really super hot on that right front and right rear, and you can already see these guys struggling, especially when they make those big moves on the inside, on the low line. They're having to slide really up the track. Ooh, as low gets a little loose there coming out of 4.
There's Nicholas Sacco looking down low on these 2 drivers ahead of him, trying to chase down Gabriel Ellison up into 6th place. Nicholas Sacco, he's got that position, made that corner, but can he just get it better and better around the outside? Here comes Lowe.
And Sacco still holding momentum, trying to get that a little bit more momentum, but those tires are starting to eat away. As you can see, Nicholas Sacco had to let off the gas a little bit there just to try not to slide up too far in Wayne, and he's going to actually lose a position out to Chad Coleman.
He's lost all those positions as this group is caught up to Gabriel Ellison. As Justin Michael getting another move on Rhett Tucker for 2nd place.
Justin Michael heading there for that fuel, only taking fuel, trying to beat the strategy. And here goes Tucker back on the apron now, trying to make a move on that low side heading into 1.
And these 2 battling now are really separating each other up there, as Andrew Navarro doesn't have to deal with these 2 squabbling on behind him, and he's pretty much just pulling away from everybody else. And Rhett Tucker needs to get his head straight if he wants to catch up to the leader. And I'm spotting a new Mission 22 sponsor on Rhett Tucker's car in that back left quarter panel.
Yep, absolutely. And I think also, too, Navarro's loving seeing these 2 battles. Here goes Michaels again. Well, he was looking down.
He's got a lap car down low.
He's got a lap car. That is Torrey Thompson caught in that incident earlier. But Justin Michaels, he's starting to make some moves here, trying to decide when he wants to make that low side move. And Tucker's right up there trying to defend the line as best as he can.
Down the field as everyone's passing Torrey. And, ooh, very loose. Almost Nicholas Sacco got up into the wall right there as Ellison leads out Coleman, Lowe, and Sacco. Heading back into turns 1 and 2. Got Chad Coleman looking down low on Ellison. Remember, Ellison earlier burned out his tires and got into the wall.
I think a lot of these drivers now, especially since we've got a good clean run going as of now, I think these guys are starting to see the effects of the tires get overheating, and now they're looking at trying to cool these tires down, which is very difficult at a track like this, especially when you're not getting on the brakes as much. Only in 1 and 2 right now, but you're still running that very high line. As there goes Wayne Lowe back on the inside again, trying to get a run.
Wayne Lowe looking low again, but you get to see his car getting sideways as we enter lap 23, about to start lap 24. Andrew Navarro way out in the lead by a second, as Rhett Tucker and Justin Michael are being caught by Matthew Lee. Lee's looking down low.
Lee's looking down low, and Michaels was loose all throughout 3 and 4, and that tail was wiggling side to side. Boy, I'm surprised he was able to hang on to it, because at one point I honestly thought he was going to scrape the outside wall there.
Yeah, Rhett Tucker was also losing a lot of time right there as Navarro gained 2 straight tenths as these two were just struggling for grip behind him. And now Matthew Lee is trying to deal with Rhett Tucker ahead of him.
And Matthew Lee's probably loving this too, seeing how much Tucker and Michael were fighting with each other right now. And Matthew Lee's probably loving this, knowing he's saved his tires a bit. Here goes Sacco on the inside of Wayne Lowe now. Going to do a slide move up here, as here goes Lowe to the inside now, heading into 3.
Last time we've been seeing Lowe try this inside move, but it's just not working out for him. He gets the advantage in the corner start, but he just can't capitalize on it off the exit. There's a massive wiggle there for Lowe.
You can just see the tires just overheating and giving way to him. I mean, boy, these guys are really pushing the cars right now. Still about another 30 laps to go before we even end stage 1, so these guys are pushing these tires to the absolute limit.
Well, remember, he's still got pit stops to go, and it's all about saving fuel. As there, speaking of pit stops, here goes Rhett Tucker into the pits.
Really call for Rhett, but at the same time, bold strategy as well, taking the opportunity to pitting and hoping that it'll work out in the end for him, because a lot of the times Tucker's had some really unfortunate errors that have cost him dearly.
And Rhett Tucker enters the pit lane first out of everybody else in this green flag run, as Nicholas Sacco's riding on the gearbox of Chad Coleman. He's going to look down low on Chad, going to try to make that move right there. Just getting very tight off the exit. Nobody else goes into the pit lane to join Rhett Tucker.
Tucker's pulling out of the pits now, falling a lap behind. But the question is, though, when are these top drivers going to come into the pits, knowing that Rhett Tucker, who was in second, has pitted way early in this run, and everyone's now got to decide who wants to pit win and try to take advantage of Rhett Tucker's early pit stop.
As we're looking at Nicholas Sacco just running that inside line, doing everything he can, as Tucker is now out of the pits, currently sitting in 14th place.
Currently sitting 14th, not the lucky dog as of right now, as that goes to Torrey Thompson. However, though, Torrey Thompson is 8 seconds behind.
Very slow.
I wonder what happened, because
is he out of fuel? Andrew Navarro, though, has entered pit lane, race leader into the pits. And here comes Ryan Kendall right behind him.
I think Torrey Thompson may have ran out of fuel, because he is
he's
coming
out.
To a crawl as he's in the pits now.
Yeah, I believe he was already out of fuel starting that lap. He just didn't know if he could make it another one. But Gabriel Ellison sitting in third, following Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee, he decided to stay out. He's slowing up. He's going into the pit lane. And he's followed by Justin Michael. Surprising move, because Michael went in on turn 3. Derek Fulton staying out.
Ellison spinning. Ellison's spinning out. Ellison spun. Oh, what a save, though. But he was dead sideways coming into the pits.
Is that replay of Gabriel Ellison? And hard onto the brakes. Sideways. Entering pit lane, but he saved it.
Boy. I wonder how fast he was coming into the pits, because that could have easily have been a good chance of him getting a speeding penalty. As whoa, Rhett Tucker's back in pit road. What has happened?
Yeah, that's surprising to see Red Tucker back in there. Do you think he might have got
Oh,
an
no,
unsafe pit release?
Oh no, why do I have a feeling? He's sitting in there for 20 seconds now.
Yeah, that might be an unsafe pit release. And speaking of unsafe pit release, Justin Michael just crossed the line before the blue cone. I think he just got an unsafe pit release.
Oh boy, pit mistakes already at the start of the race is going to be big. Richard Beasley now coming into the pits.
Yeah, Derek Fulton, quote, couldn't catch a break today. He's currently leading this race. He needs to come into the pits very soon. I think he's just now realizing that as he is going a bit slower than normal, and now he's slowing way up. He's going to start heading into pits. Also, Greg Wellen looking into pit lane as well, as our two leaders are now going into the pits. There's Richard Beasley. He's still in the pits. Andrew Navarro, first car lap down, going to get his lap back and try to catch back on into the lead lap. Jumps up Beasley, and he's now in second place. And our two leaders, did they pick a good time in pit lane? As they're still in the pits in their box. They just landed into their box right now.
Wellen, I think Wellen overshot his pit box there a little bit.
And here comes Fulton out of the pits.
Very quick stop by Fulton. 7 seconds as well. Boy.
Yeah, but around the outside, hello. Your new leader, Andrew Navarro. That's Matthew Lee. Andrew Navarro.
Yep. Well, Matthew Lee's got a good run, though, as well. He's actually looking at lap times 0.2 of a second quicker for Matthew Lee, so not over yet. Still got roughly, what, 22 laps? 21 laps coming
20
to the
laps.
line as we've completed
20 laps.
4 laps.
21 laps, you're
Okay.
right. Going to lap 55.
Yep. Yep. 34 laps completed, 21 to go, and still a lot of time for Matthew Lee to
Ooh,
catch
that is
up
a
as Navarro's
smart move by
in the
Navarro.
draft. He's in the draft there of Clinton Castleberry. As here goes Nicholas Sacco now looking on the inside of Wayne Lowe, and if he gets enough momentum to slide up, and he will do that. Whoa, as Fulton's way up there caught him off guard a little bit.
Yeah, Fulton, as they're 3 wide entering that corner. Fulton is holding that outside line, playing that long game, trying to see if he could pull out some magic late on in this run. As remember, he was involved in that massive first caution of the night. But he had a good run in that fuel strategy, and he jumped up a lot of spots. It's just his run pace is just not there as we're looking at this fight for third. So Justin Michael, it looked like he had that a little bit of a early get back on track, but it looked like it was completely in the rules right there.
And I mean, it's amazing to see just how huge of a gap it is between Justin Michael and Nicholas Sacco. 5 full seconds is the gap between Sacco and Justin Michael. Now,
See,
that's
everybody
impressive.
Everybody had a very similar strategy of 29 to 30 laps before going back into the pits. But look at this. The drivers who went in on lap 3 went 27 laps and went into the pits at exactly the same time. They didn't go straight up 30 laps. I feel like they just went in there, tried to get some repairs, and then got out in case they felt like they were hit. And they didn't fuel up at all.
I'm thinking, which is odd, because you would have assumed that they could be able to go that extra 3 or 4 laps and be able to cut that tire strategy off a bit and be able to make it to the end on one set of tires throughout the run.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's going to be a good... Oh, my goodness. Chad Coleman. Very close.
Can't get any closer than that. Yeah, can't get any closer than that, and I think Kendall had a little scary moment there. As Gabriel Ellison now looks on the inside, Kendall holding that low line. As Ellison's got the run down low, trying to follow Coleman, and might just work if Ellison can get this run off, but he's not going to get the run off, and Kendall's still going to be able to defend his position.
Yeah, Kettle's got that outside line. He's got the draft of Coleman ahead of him, and that's just going to be hurting Ellison a lot. And we got another 3-car fight at the lead, as that's Michael and Lee nose to tail for each other as they're chasing down Andrew Navarro.
And that was a big, bold move by Justin Michael there, slide jobbing in front of Matthew Lee. These guys are starting really nose to tail now as Andrew Navarro's lead has dwindled to 0.2 of a second. Coming to the line now, 41 laps complete, only 14 to go, and these guys are really going at it now. Michael just running that outside line, trying to get any momentum off of Navarro, and it's just not enough as Navarro's still hanging on. Michaels might be starting to look down on that low line as here he goes into 3.
Yeah, here comes Michael down low for the race lead. So they're going to come off side by side, heading into the tribal, still side by side. Navarro, Michael, less than a 10 separates, and Michael gets back behind Navarro. And that inside line is just going to be very hard to make that move. He needs to make that move on the inside before the corner entry on that back straight and get some speed from that draft. But it's going to be very difficult right here as he's going to try a little bit of a bump move. And off into the... Oh, okay, Michael.
Okay, that was scary.
Neck coated with the wall.
I think that scared Matthew Lee half to death, seeing all the sparks in front, because look how quickly Matthew dropped off.
Yeah, I feel like Justin Michael's connection went out just a little bit for everybody right there. And shout out to Sparks. He might be blinking all over the place for these guys. And Matthew Lee just taking it a little bit too cautious. And, well, when you've seen behind when the car behind you is just jumping around just slightly.
Yeah, it gets to be very scary, and I don't blame Matthew Lee for backing off there, because that could have been very ugly very quick.
11 laps to go here in stage 1. Michael, Navarro, side by side for the lead. Justin Michael looking down low once more, trying to get some good runs coming out of turn 2, heading into turns 3 and 4 to gain the lead. He just does not have enough pace. Down low he goes once more. He's going to take the lead, but look around the outside. Here comes Navarro back on Michael. Navarro retakes the lead and leads another lap, and here comes Matthew Lee.
Yep, and here comes Matthew Lee, but you can see the big issue here is these guys are trying to get a huge run off of into 1, but yet 1 and 2 is a much tighter corner. They cannot get that run off. They got to time it right and be able to get that slingshot, slide in front of the other car into 3 and 4 as Michael blinks it out there again.
Oh, Michael sideways!
My goodness.
Justin Michael drifting it here in Kansas.
That got interesting very quick.
Very interesting, and I gotta be honest, that was awesome to watch.
That was, and I think there's going to be some new tires on the right rear there for the 87
Oh,
car.
everyone's taking new tires here.
Meanwhile, Wayne Lowe getting back in front of Chad Coleman, and we've seen Coleman be very quick here in a lot of tracks. Very odd seeing Chad Coleman struggling as much as he has, and especially when you have Wayne Lowe, who's probably has a little bit less of experience on iRacing compared to Chad. And seeing Wayne pull away from Chad. So very impressive run already for Wayne.
Now, it is fairly unique to see that, but it just shows you on how you can manage your tires to give yourself an advantage as the field is kind of settled out right now. We got Greg Wellen stuck on that outside line as he's getting a good run on Ryan Kendall ahead of him as they're battling it out for 8th place right now. Only 16 cars on track. Oh, if I do this right, we could get our split. Oh, it's completely disabled my split timer. Dang it. I could just only highlight the top 10. But those top 10 spots are the point spots as Greg Wellen closing more in on Kendall. Remember, Kendall's got that damage on that front left.
Yeah, and you can see as we're completed 49 laps, nearing 5 to go right now. We're at 6 to go right now with Navarro pulling out to a half a second gap. Meanwhile, Derek Fulton's in the pits.
Fulton getting back into the pits, just didn't think that he had enough time to go. And yeah, he doesn't. They still have to go into the pits again. Everyone's hitting 30 laps again.
My. Oh my. So I'm assuming then 25, 27 laps roughly then on fuel.
Oh, and Matthew Lee almost into the wall. Actually, he was in the wall right there. But fuel again coming into play at the end of the stage. And we were talking with the owners before this Racing League admin saying the 50% fuel is extremely competitive and it makes the races so much more strategy based, especially for the end of the stages. And with that sprint stage at the end, it gives everybody that way to race with their heads, but way to race at the end of the race. But it also gives the people who with the strategy to race at the end. As here comes Ellison on Coleman. Ellison looking low.
And Ellison might have enough run here, but he's held off a little bit, trying not to overshoot the corner. And there goes Chad.
Okay, they hit the wrong button.
Oh.
They do have enough fuel to make it to the end, but Fulton definitely went a little bit earlier, but they're scraping that edge of fuel mileage right here.
It's Andrew Navarro. Wait a minute. Lee has lost a lot of time all of a sudden.
Yeah, Matthew Lee definitely struggling with those tires as he stayed ahead of Justin Michael, but I feel like he is running out of fuel. Might have just got that 5 laps of fuel message left, but he's only got 2 laps to go. So they're going to be barely making it on fuel here, but this is a good strategy. Good something to look at here. Right now, getting ready for stage number 2 as green and white flag is now in the air. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1 for Andrew Navarro.
Looks like a lot of these guys are going to be able to make it on fuel. The question is if they're going to have enough fuel for the pace laps getting into the pits. But that's another thing.
They will. They got 30 laps of fuel in these cars. They're good to lap 60.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And yellow flag is out. Before
little early, though,
the start-finish line. Either way, that brings out the stage.
I see Torrey Thompson a lot slower than
well, he's right up to the
field.
pace car. It's right in front of him.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, as stage 1 ends, Andrew Navarro takes the stage victory ahead of Matthew Lee, Justin Michael in 3rd, Nicholas Sacco, Wayne Lowe, Chad Coleman, Gabriel Ellison, Ryan Kendall, Greg Wellen, and Richard Beasley in 10th place. Those are your point scores here in stage 1. 55 laps remain here as we are about to start stage number 2 in the NRE Power Systems Cup Series. You're here watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back for the start of stage number 2. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We're back here live at Kansas Motor Speedway. Andrew Navarro, well, led the stage, and it's going to be leading us back to green with Matthew Lee right behind him with Justin Michael sitting in third. Nicholas Sacco in fourth place as the lights go out on the pace car. You see Navarro favoring that inside line and favoring a little bit of fuel saving as everybody's getting back in there and getting really bunched up, getting ready to go. So the lights are out on the pace car, and well, after a very interactive stage one, we're going to be seeing a little bit more. Are we going to be seeing a little bit more tactile fuel saving measures, and maybe on lap 25, are we going to see somebody start going to the pit lane and try to undercut the entire field?
I think there's going to be some undercuts here. Just the way things are going to be for the second stage, I'm expecting some undercuts. We saw some strategies come involved that really backfired on a few. Derek Fulton V1. I mean, I feel bad for Rhett Tucker again making a mistake. So I think we're going to see some undercuts here for the stage for everyone to get ready for the last stage.
Well, remember, they have 30 laps of fuel in this 55-lap stage, but we're starting this stage only with 50 laps to go, with the yellow flag starting immediately on lap 55. Lights are out on the pace car. 50 laps to go here in stage number 2 here at Kansas. You're here watching the NRE Power Systems Cup Series. We're going back to green flag racing, being led by Andrew Navarro. Matthew Lee getting a very bad start, and Justin Michael immediately on the bumper of Andrew Navarro. I think he's giving a little bit of a bump draft right there. And look at that, 3 wide in the background.
Yeah.
Rhett Tucker, he's 2 laps down. He still wants to race.
Oh, absolutely. He wants to make up some laps after a big error on his part. So, yeah, I don't blame him at all.
Justin Michael goes down low. He retakes the lead.
Someone way further back. I think it was Bob Williams was sideways coming out of 3.
And look at that. Ryan Kettle stuck in the middle of Rhett Tucker and Gabriel Ellison.
Ellison running, everyone running that low line or high line right now, and you could just see these guys trying to pick their way through the field, and Tucker's trying to play a different mind game here, trying to hope for a possible caution, but it's going to be tough with how these guys are running.
He's 2 laps down. He needs to get to the front and then hopefully wish for yellow. With only 15 cars on the track, I must say. Yeah, 15 cars on the track right now as Brady LaBeouf is not coming back on. It is going to be hard for another yellow to come on, but with this big pack up ahead, this is a spot, if there's going to be a caution, it is going to be right here as Wayne Lowe trying to stay down low and get past Justin Michael, but that outside line is rubbered in all the ways. Here comes Andrew Navarro getting up onto the bumper of Wayne Lowe, trying to push him along. Wayne Lowe leads the lap.
Boy, leads a lap, but we're 3 wide for the lead right now as
this is dangerous.
Cuts it in here. Boy, how is he able to keep that momentum as Wayne Lowe cuts in front of Justin Michael? Navarro moves up to the middle lane to keep Michaels up there on that high line. And here goes no.
Lowe got loose. Very loose for Lowe. They're loose 3 wide. Michael almost goes into the wall.
And how in the world did they save it? And Tucker's like, thank you. I'm going to try to get my lap back the hard way. As Tucker's now fighting
Michael's
on the
into
low
the
line.
Michael hard into the wall.
Oh, he's hitting big hard.
Yellow, not out.
A lot of damage on that right front.
But Justin
a lot of damage on that
Michael,
right front, though.
our butt kicker pole position winner, is falling down the field harder than a rock in water.
Look at Tucker. Tucker's trying to fight now to get a lap back now. Let's look at Tucker in third, trying to fight back with Nicholas Sacco and Andrew Navarro.
Bob Williams enters pit lane very early on. I feel like he got a little bit of damage right there. He's just trying to figure out the car. He's currently 8 laps down right now. But Rhett Tucker, 2 laps down. He's going up. He's currently like butter on a roll up through this field.
Yeah, man, you can just see Tucker getting all the momentum. Tucker's going to get his lap back the hard way, whether anyone wants to or not.
Rhett Tucker trying to get to a lap down, then try to see if that caution comes out. Even if he is going to get a lap down at the front of this field, if he stays up there, that is a way to get his lap back and get that lucky dog, because currently everyone's 2 laps down right now. So even if he was a lucky dog, he'll be starting stage 3 with 1 lap down. So he's definitely looking to get that lap back before the start of stage 3 if he has any chance of getting or attempting this race win.
Yeah, and you know Tucker is quick here at Kansas, and he's proven it there as Navarro's going down on the low line, trying to be a little defensive here as Sacco stays up on the high side, Tucker stays on the high side. Now it just becomes a chess match now between these guys.
Yeah, with that outer line being that preferred line for everybody right now, you definitely do not want to be caught out down low because they'll superheat your tires, but Tucker doesn't care. Tucker sending it in like a rocket ahead of Nicholas Sacco. And he's made that move.
What a move by Rhett Tucker.
I know we're supposed to say non-biased, and I'm trying not to. I'm usually not biased towards Tucker, but that was amazing, and I had to applaud that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tucker now got his eyes set on Navarro, trying to go from 2 laps down to 1 lap down, so that by the time this stage ends, Tucker's going to be able to get back on the lead lap and fight for that win.
But Andrew Navarro in that Celebrity Cruises number 2. Ran 42 last season. Well, he's into the number 2 right there. He dropped the 4, and I got to say, that 4 is carrying a little bit too much weight because this car this year is flying.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. You can just see just a little.
Ooh, Tucker.
A little too aggressive. There's Sacco on the inside now.
Well, Nicholas Sacco trying to get a good run on Rhett Tucker, but Rhett Tucker gets the draft at Andrew Navarro. Here comes Sacco down low, and this might be what Andrew Navarro needs these two to start fighting for that second line of spot. Nicholas Sacco gets ahead of Rhett Tucker, comes back up, and Tucker looking on that outside with Matthew Lee following Rhett Tucker as they go side by side, heading into the tribal. Nicholas Sacco is going to have to go back down low once more. As you can see, Tucker getting sideways just a little bit. They're all struggling for grip. And here comes Tucker, got a much better run on Sacco, and here comes Lee on Sacco.
Yeah, but you could hear Navarro having to feather the throttle there at one point. He was starting to get really tail happy.
Right on board our second place of Matthew Lee as he's following the NASCAR of Rhett Tucker, trying to get his lap back and go 1 lap down and be in that lucky dog's golden opportunity spot. If a caution comes out, Tucker just struggling for a grip right there, right behind Andrew Navarro. He senses his opportunities right there, but it's just that difficult time to understand where you need to go, when you need to go, and how you need to do it in order to get that move done. And this is what happens when you get a penalty in the pit lane. You have to go, you lose your lap, and it's just going to be very hard, but Tucker knows how to get it done. He just needs to get past it. Navarro, but that is not what he wanted to do. He smacked the wall right there, and he's fell down the track, and he's fell down a lot of time on Andrew Navarro, and he's bunched up the field right behind him.
And I think he hit the right side enough to where that right front, I think that right front's got a little bit of damage. You can barely tell it too, so I think it's going to be, it might be game over.
Right there.
Yeah, you can see that right front damage. And that arrow is going to be really impactful on the cars. Arrow is key here at Kansas.
Yeah, he's not going to feel it for a little bit, but he's definitely going to be feeling it in these corners. And Andrew Navarro, say sayonara as he's jumped off to 8/10 in the lead after that massive bunch up. Now we got to fight for second place and a fight for fuel strategy.
Big question mark on strategy here now as we're working lap 74, completed 74 laps, working lap 75. So a lot of questions here now on what drivers are going to do on when are they going to pit, because remember, these guys can only go 30 laps.
Yeah, we're looking at 25. I'm looking at 25 laps currently on a stint for that first pit stop. That's when I would say the pit window opens. 25 laps in. because that will give you 25 laps remaining in this stage if it stays green.
Yep, and looking at the last pit stops, your top 5 pitted on lap 56. While a few other drivers like Coleman, Fulton, whoa, someone went way off. That was Derek Fulton there, went way down on the inside.
Yeah, just got loose.
Fulton, yep, Coleman, Fulton, Wellen, and Beasley all pitted on lap 58. So 2-lap difference, but at the same time, it's just going to be on when you want to come in, and that's a big risk call there.
Sometimes got to be risky to earn the money here, and if they continue to do that, I would expect, well, Colton, Fulton, and Wellen, they're going to go longer than everybody else, and they're going to try to do the overcut than everybody else trying to go into that massive sprawl into pit lane. And remember, in that massive sprawl into pit lane, Gabriel Ellison, he went sideways, had to lock up all of his tires going into the pits, and that really hurt him.
Yeah, and I think that's still kind of in the back of the mindset for Gabriel Ellison, knowing, oh my goodness, Coleman struggling here tonight.
Yeah,
boy,
he's been burning up those tires a lot, and being for one on the fresher sets, well, he went to the pits for fuel, but to be on the fresher sets of tires still, this shows you where that wall is of grip on 18 laps of good hard out running, and then you're going to be struggling for grip a lot as Nicholas Sacco is catching up to Matthew Lee as they enter 22 laps, and they got about 3 laps to go for our first expected pit stop. We're going to bring that up when they start going back in so we can compare when everybody's going to go and who's going to attempt that. Early on is Matthew Lee, and Brett Tucker almost scraped the wall, but I think that was Lee who got into the wall right there.
I think that was Lee that scraped the wall there. But also, too, the question mark is going to be when are these guys going to pit, knowing that they're going to have a 20-lap sprint to the finish. Whoa, as Tucker gets loose, and look at the run Sacco's got. And here goes Sacco on the inside line, and he's going to make it easy work out of it.
Easy as pie, going down low, but around the outside is going to have to wait for Lee, as they're going to get very tight off the exit.
Ooh. He scraped the wall a little bit, but it wasn't as severe as what he did earlier. But like we were saying earlier, man, Lee just barely touches the back bumper of Sacco. The question's going to be is when are these guys going to scrape? Oh, as we got one in the wall that's way low, scraping the outside wall further back.
Way low, going way down low out there on track, and there's a replay of what just happened right there. Here's Wayne Lowe, that 34 car.
I think we just missed him scraping, but boy, he's struggling. Look at, there goes Folan. And I mean, that is 2 positions lost there. As
Lowe back
here
on
goes
Fulton.
Wayne Lowe back on the inside. And oh, trying to not get into the side of Fulton there, trying to play smart of it. But I honestly think though,
well, he's got it.
Fulton.
Fulton gets
Fulton's
off
running out of
early.
fuel.
He's going to the pits first. Fulton takes the first pit
There goes
stop.
Ryan Kendall right behind. Oh, and I think he might have just sped. Derek Fulton might have just sped. It was very, very late decision by Fulton, too.
I'll let you read the radio of everybody and let you decide on that one.
Yeah. Oh, boy. And as watching some of these guys, Coleman, and I can definitely tell you this, I think the question now is what are these guys going to do now when it comes to fuel strategy? Like you were saying, got a 25 laps it's going to take for a full tank. We've got a 20-lap sprint race for 3rd stage. I think some of these guys are not going to pit until we're 5 to go to the end of the stage. But it's going to be cutting it close. Here goes Rhett Tucker into the pits now.
I'm not even going to question what Matthew just did in her head because that did not make sense to me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I have no idea either.
Chad Coleman, Justin Michael into the pit lane. And Michael's down to 9th place right now.
And Andrew Navarro is coming into the pits, as well as the 34 is going to be coming into the pits, as they are hollering on the radio already, giving heads up to Matthew Lee. As here goes Navarro, and here goes Ellison, a little hot as well. Oh, Sacco gets a little sideways coming into the pits.
It's always Nicholas Sacco or Gabriel Ellison getting very sideways, but Greg Wellen and Matthew Lee still staying out. And Greg Wellen, he's on 2-lap fresher. He's got 2 laps more fuel in his car than Matthew Lee, so he can stay out there a lot longer than everybody
Lee
else.
is coming into the pits now. And Lee into the pits now.
Greg Wellen, your
takes
new leader.
over the lead. With Wellen taking over the lead, the question is, how many more laps is he going to go? As here goes Navarro coming out of the pits.
There comes Navarro out of there. Followed by Sacco and Ellison right behind, and Navarro's got a massive gap to everybody else. As Matthew Lee, he's in the pits. He's currently not lapped down. We're going to ride on board with Greg Well and see if he's going into the pits or is he staying out, trying to put the entire field lap down. He's going to go into the pits. It's a very risky stop for Well. He was sideways for a bit there.
And it was very late, too, and he decided last second. Because had he broke even like a hair, like another second later, oh, he would have missed it.
Look who played that perfectly. Derek Fulton undercutted the entire field. Now as he's the net leader.
Boy, oh boy. Oh, Matthew Lee is slow. Matthew Lee is...
He just came out of the pits.
Actually, just came out of the pits. That explains it.
Yeah, and that early stop by Derek Fulton has put him into the net lead, and it'll be putting him into the lead right about now.
And that's a big game changer, too, for Fulton. But now the thing is, though, for Fulton, he's got to hang on for another, let's see,
30.
Get ready to complete lap 88. 30 laps would be 118, so, oh, it's going to be close.
Yeah, 22 something.
Or actually, no, it would be enough.
Yeah, he's got enough.
He just got to hold on.
He just needs to watch after his tires and not do anything stupid, as Navarro is trying to follow him. Nicholas Sacco just put in the fastest lap of the race of a 29.66. Chad Coleman and Ryan Kendall are going side by side right behind him.
Coleman trying to get the upper hand, and he's Kendall trying to get a little bit lower, get that run, but it's not going to work out for him, actually, and it looks like it just gave Matthew Lee an opportunity to catch up to Ryan Kendall and Chad Coleman now.
And as they continue, it's a very massive pack right there. As there's Matthew Lee, the last guy out of the pits. He's going to try to get a little bit of spice running on there, as he's on the freshest tires of the field, so technically he should be the fastest. Just put in his personal best lap, and he's going to try to shoot the moon through Clinton Castleberry and Chad Coleman.
Oh, and Coleman was getting ready to go down, duck down low, and Matthew was already there on Chad Coleman, and Matthew Lee moves up to 4th place over Chad Coleman now, and Coleman's got to find his way back.
Yeah, Chad Coleman right behind him, and now as they got the laps under their belt, around lap 10 in these tires, they're going to start focusing on that outside line, focus on saving those tires, and already they're focusing on saving these tires as Derek Fulton up there with a strategy undercut to keep himself in the game and put himself into the lead ahead of Andrew Navarro. Our stage 1 winner just looked like he was in control of this entire race. He's got Rhett Tucker on his tail right now. Tucker's still 2 laps down, unable to get his lap back. And now if he passes Navarro, he will still be 2 laps down. He needs to get up there and catch Fulton. But they are closing in on Derek Fulton inch by inch and lap by lap, because Fulton, he undercutted, so he's on older tires than everybody else right now. 3-lap older tires than Andrew Navarro.
Yep, 3-lap older tires, and look at Navarro just pushing it right now. And there goes Tucker on the inside, but Navarro is trying to push this car.
This is not going to help Navarro. This is not going to help Navarro. He's going to just... If he continues having trouble with Rhett Tucker, that's going to be allowing more time for Derek Fulton to pull away from these two, squabbing for just track position, really, as it's not for actual position, but look who it is for position. That's Nicholas Sacco right there in the hunt for second place. As you can look, they gain up so much time on Derek Fulton because there he is right there.
Well, they didn't really lose too much ground. It's Fulton's tires are really starting to fall off. Look at the ground that Navarro is catching right now. The last lap time Derek Fulton ran was a 30.56, while Navarro and Sacco, who was dealing with Rhett Tucker, still managed to run a 30.1. And coming to the line now, Fulton ran a 30.6, and look at Navarro and Sacco, 30.28 and 30.23. They are coming fast.
And speaking of fast, there they are right now. Fulton goes defensive. Navarro goes around the outside. Navarro trying to take back the lead of this race. He's on the outside. Fulton defending onto the inside, but that outside line is where Fulton needed to be. Andrew Navarro back into the lead here at Kansas. He's got Nicholas Sacco, defending champion, on his bumper right now. Andrew Navarro stuck on that outside line. Here goes Sacco down low. Nicholas Sacco looking for the lead of this race, and Nicholas Sacco, he's got the advantage coming out of the corner, but side by side they're going. Who's going to have the speed coming off the exit, heading into turn one? Side by side across the line is going to be Sacco by a nose, leading that lap. Navarro has the speed on the outside and the momentum, but Sacco has this line heading into 1 and 2. He's got the ground, but is not going to be there, as they're going to be drag racing and coming out of the corner. Navarro advantage, and Navarro's going to keep that lead, but it was a very good fight by Nicholas Sacco right there.
Very good fight by Nicholas Sacco there, and meanwhile, these guys are just finding it out, and Andrew Navarro doing everything he can to stay ahead. Matthew Lee has finally gotten around Derek Fulton as well, and tires are starting to really fall off for Fulton. However, look at the lap times. The lap times are starting to close in now with Fulton, as Sacco ran to 30.7 and Navarro ran to 30.6, so tire factor's starting to become a key now.
Now those tires definitely coming into the key, and the person with the freshest tires on this grid is Matthew Lee in third place. Just by a lap though, so it's not going to be day and night though, but it is going to be a good difference to have a little bit of a advantage, especially if he was watching his tires, not running that inside line like Sacco was earlier to get that fast lap. And speaking of the inside line, here goes Sacco again.
Yeah, Sacco getting the run down.
Oh, here comes a switchback.
Oh, Navarro gets a huge run as well, and here he goes diving on the low side.
And now Navarro holds down that inside line. That inside line, so quick right there. That switchback move that Navarro played was to perfection right there.
And it played out very well as Sacco now looking at trying to decide whether he wants to make another move or let Navarro stay in front for the time being. So we're working lap 100, getting ready to complete lap 100, which means we're going to only have 10 to go in the stage and 30 to go left in the race in general. And the question is, are some of these guys going to try to play devil's advocate and pit with 5 to go?
I do not think that would be a even close to good idea. The new tires just work so well around here, and if you pit early, you're just setting yourself up to have track position, and almost a collision right there.
Oh my goodness. And that could have ended disastrously for both.
That could have ended so many people's races right there. But yeah, if you pit in early, this is the thing that you'll gain. You'll gain track position. You'll gain the lead of this race. But the thing is, you're going to be stormed so fast by everybody on newer tires, because 10 laps into a new stint, those tires are in that wall, and you really can't do anything down low. And you're just going to be stormed by everybody for straight 5 laps until everybody's kind of on equal ground, but there's always going to be 5 laps fresher than you. And that is not anything you're going to be playing, because it will only work if you had a gap. There's no gap to work with if on a restart. They're going to be on your bumper, so it is a complete gamble that is never going to work.
Yeah, and let's just say when Sacco went for that move and almost got into Navarro, some funny radio chatter went off. Sacco somewhat apologizing for that, saying he went in a little too deep, and I think it gave everyone a scare there, thinking something was going to happen and it was going to involve the two leaders. So a little bit of funny gamesmanship on the radio, but everyone was still cool and collected.
Knowing these drivers, they like to be a little bit jolly with each other.
Oh, absolutely.
But Matthew Lee, he's been silently closing in on these two.
And they're running the same lap times too. That last lap time, actually 0.05 of a second quicker than Nicolas Sacco and Navarro, who ran the exact lap time that last lap.
Yeah, 31:03, identical lap times for our two leaders. And that's just showing you who is playing this a little bit smarter and who's trying to save those tires and wait for that very last lap. If they're playing exactly the same lap time, they're equal in pace, and Matthew Lee's about to join them as well. When with 5 laps to go in this stage, it's going to get absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and Sacco getting a little loose there on entry, and you could just see Lee looking at it. And, I guess Navarro had a little bit of an issue because he was on the radio saying, yep, I done it this time. So, definitely some interesting stuff happening here up front now.
Yeah, Nicolas Sacco in a precarious situation. He's followed back on Navarro, and Lee, he could try to go on Nicolas Sacco right now, or try to wait for the very last lap to try to make a move up there. And he doesn't, if you don't want anyone to switch back on you, the last lap is where you want to go. And Lee's actually backing off. He's sensing something in the force. He doesn't like this.
Oh, yeah, no, I think he knows what's going on, and it's just trying to just play it safe. Derek Fulton's already knows he's made one of the best undercuts for him that give him the best opportunity. Now it's just trying to make it to the end of this race.
But Fulton's being caught by Ellison, actually, right behind him.
It's Ellison, yeah.
Slowly. It's not immediate, but...
Very slowly.
Ellison's right there. But 3 laps to go now. Can Sacco get his game plan under control and try to make the move? I believe Matthew Lee is just cemented himself into 3rd place, and he's going to accept 3rd place in the points for the end of the stage. 2 laps to go now. Here comes Sacco.
And I think Sacco here is going to try to make a move, but I think at the same time he knows he's got the 2nd place stage points locked in. He wouldn't mind getting 1st, but I think he knows he wants to keep that car safe to the end. So these guys are really trying to play it safe here. Here goes Navarro taking the arrow off the lap car here. We're going green-white checkered here for end of stage 2. Here comes the Sacco. Oh boy, on the outside.
That's close.
He might have a run here too as Navarro slides up a little bit. Here goes Sacco on the run. Now the question is the late move.
Casaberry's down low. He can't go fully down low now.
And he's not able to get the momentum, and it's going to hurt him in the end. So
Casaberry was right there, put it on the block. White flag. Actually, nope. Yep. Yellow flag in the air. 3rd caution of the night. Stage number 2 is in the books as Andrew Navarro takes the stage win again. They're followed by Nicolas Sacco, Matthew Lee, Derek Fulton, Gabriel Elsa, Chad Coleman, Richard Beasley, Greg Wellen, Wayne Lowe, and Ryan Kendall in 10th place. You're here watching Racecraft TV for the NRE Power Systems Cup Series. We'll be right back with our 15-lap sprint to the finish here at Kansas. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it,
To build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. Andrew Navarro leads out the field with 18 laps to go, with Matthew Lee right behind him. So, same order as they left that state. Actually, no, Nicholas Sacco has dropped down to third. Matthew Lee's jumped up into second. So, it's going to be a very interesting start. It's Navarro, Lee, Sacco, Ellison, Coleman, Beasley, our top three rows with 17 to go. And the lights are not out on the pace car. They're going to go another extra lap here. And looking at this field, with the fresher tires, it's going to be anyone's game. And it's going to be that restart that really shows on who's got the best grip of it. The thing is, if the yellow comes out on that restart, it's going to change the entire aspect of this race. Because the worn tire restarts, I could just say Daytona, and you could know exactly what that means. Worn tires, just crazy restart, massive crash, and a thrown shoe.
Oh yeah, If we get a early caution here, at the restart for the start of stage 3, things are gonna get interesting.
Things are already interesting with a big sprint finish. As we're going to go green with 15 laps to go. It's going to go 16. Then when they cross the line, when the green flag drops, it's going to be 15. Math numbers, you know how it works out. 14 cars on track right now. Ryan Kendall and Justin Michael are in the pit lane just to get some stuff fixed up. Justin Michael is actually going to go a lap down, I believe. He is still in the pit lane. And, just got a lap. Well, no, is he going to escape being a lap down? Yes, he is. Justin Michael just barely escapes being a lap down because Andrew Navarro's right there.
Boy, that was close.
And Rhett Tucker, if a caution does come out, it'll be good news for that 99 team, as they'll be back on that lead lap. So Tucker is wishing for that yellow flag to come out again. I think he's the only one in the field that a yellow flag might come out. Another person that might be wishing for a yellow flag to come out, probably Richard Beasley. He's in the middle of the field. And, you know, at a tight track like Kansas, can't really dive it in around the stuff. But if a caution happens in front of you, that's more cars out of the way. And everybody behind Richard Beasley will probably think of the same thing.
Oh, without a doubt.
People up front, they do not want this to happen. 15 laps are ready to go. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's go. Green flag races to end out this race here at Kansas on Racecraft TV. Green's in the air, and Navarro gets a good jump. Michael trying to dive down low as Nicholas Sacco and Matthew Lee holding down that bottom line. Navarro going way down low, driving onto the pit lane, throwing up some dirt.
Navarro
being stuck on that outside line. And here comes Richard Beasley up into 4th place.
Beasley gets a huge run out of there. Meanwhile, Navarro with that big start he had already starting to fall off. Let's look at leads. Here goes Beasley down on Sacco now.
Beasley into third. Beasley's making it move. He's making it wiggle. He's trying to find all the grip on this track. He got that exit wasn't the best for Beasley as they're going to go 3 wide right behind him as Matthew Lee dancing in second place. Nicholas Sacco going high. Here comes Beasley down low again.
Beasley trying to make the best of this as here goes Navarro down on the low line, trying to cut that corner a little, trying to keep that arrow on Matthew Lee.
Look at Nicholas Sacco
on the inside now.
Speaking of Beasley again, Beasley's up into fourth once more. Trying to dance and follow Nicholas Sacco down low. Sacco's up into second. Sacco looking for the lead. 13 laps to go here at Kansas.
13 to go, and these guys are fighting as if it's the last lap right now. Sacco personal. Sacco with the biggest run, and Beasley now with trying to get that momentum, not getting the momentum yet. Sends it down on the low line and might get the run to save fourth. To save third is Beasley's going to actually get the run there as Ellison gives a push to Matthew Lee there in the corner.
Beasley's up into third. Here comes Nicholas Sacco in for the lead. Side by side with Andrew Navarro.
Sacco's got a huge run, and look at Beasley on the inside. Securing third, and now is going after Andrew Navarro for second, and who knows, maybe even the lead.
Beasley was in sixth on this restart, and he's just pulling out a heck of a push on. As Andrew Navarro jumps back up into the lead. Nicholas Sacco in second, Beasley in third, with Matthew Lee and Chad Coleman battling out side by side for fourth place.
Huge battle for fourth. Meanwhile, Sacco and
Navarro sideways!
Navarro sideways. Beasley takes over second.
And they're 4 wide. 4 wide for a second right there as Navarro falls all the way down into 7th place. And it's Nicholas Sacco, Richard Beasley, Chad Coleman, 1, 2, and 3.
Beasley seeing this happen all in front of him. He is gunning for the win if he can. Beasley's got 0.2 of a second, and look at him cut that inside corner, trying to get all of that momentum he can, sliding up to the track, trying to keep as much speed as he can, trying to chase down Nicholas Sacco.
Yeah, this pack right behind him is absolutely rabid to watch for 4th place and 3rd place ahead of him. Chad Coleman leading out that group, and now they're about to hit that wall as they went 5 laps so far. So now they're going to feel the effects of the tire wear, and that outside line is going to be preferred now, and Ellison is stuck in that bottom line. The more they use that outside line, the faster they're going to be nearing the end of this race. And I feel like the entire race is going to look up high as there goes Matthew Lee down low on Ellison.
And Lee's looking down, trying to get that momentum. Not going to be enough. Actually, it's going to be enough, but he gets a little bit of tire spin there. And look at Navarro looking on the low line.
He's giving a little bit of push. Andrew Navarro bump drafting here to give Lee the advantage on Ellison.
And Navarro can't make anything of it. Meanwhile, here goes Matthew Lee trying to get a run on Coleman. Coming down the backstretch, look at Beasley not able to make any move. Meanwhile, Ellison sends it down low on Matthew Lee trying to get a run.
Oh, and Ellison and Lee, they touch sideways. They touch side walls right there. They're still side by side, but I believe Lee has that advantage around the outside.
Lee has the advantage right now. Trying to get a little bit of a deeper run. Lee slides up the track.
Watch the exit for Lee. Lee is going to exit this like a rocket on Ellison.
Look at Navarro with the huge push on Lee.
He's the first car running that outside line, committed to that outside line and not going for that move as that outside line has got the advantage right now. And Lee's going to try to push it again on that outside. He's got the outside line on Coleman. Looking for 3rd place.
3rd and Coleman. Oh my goodness.
Does not have
Coleman
that outside line. Lee is up into 3rd. Next target, Beasley. Beasley's running that outside line now, but he's kind of running a adaptive middle line. Lee's looking for that move. He's going to try to get a side-by-side with him and try to hold that outside line. Beasley trying to force his way up in front of him. He puts on the block on Lee. But Beasley, oh, that's a mistake right there for Beasley. Yeah. He's looking down low. That's going to hurt him off the exit. Here comes Lee for second place.
Yeah, and that hurt big time, and the tires are gone for Beasley. He was pushing as hard as he can, and it's just the tires are gone for Beasley now.
5
Matthew Lee
laps to go. Nicholas
And
Sacco
5
leading
tenths.
out Matthew Lee in second place by half a second. Then it's Beasley, Coleman, Navarro, Ellison, Wellen, Lowe, Michael, Fulton, your top 10.
And Lee is just doing everything he can now. I think Sacco saved a little bit of tire there as he got in front. And boy, look at the run he's getting. And Sacco on the low line in 3 and 4, trying
He's trying
to
to
keep
break
that
out that
run
draft,
going.
but that's going to be hurting him off the exit. Nicholas Sacco is hurting himself. He continues to run that low line, but he's also helping himself by breaking away that draft that he's throwing off of that car. But he's knowingly doing that on the last corner instead of the first corner, which is a lot slower. So he's technically giving himself a good wiggle room right there as he once again going down low. And Matthew Lee is staying up high.
He's only hurting himself by maybe a half, like a half of a tenth of a second. Because right now, gap is still a half of a second than Matthew Lee. Meanwhile, Matthew Lee can get the run in 1 and 2, but it's 3 and 4 that's absolutely killing him right now.
Right on board, Nicholas Sacco. 2 laps to go. He is diving down low again. But the advantage he's getting by not giving Lee the draft is definitely working. White flag is in the air.
Sacco's to lose as Beasley is struggling to hang on the third as Coleman now is trying to look on the inside. Here goes Navarro on the inside now.
Navarro fell down to 6th place, trying to get any spots that he can to maximize those points in this race. Navarro looking low on Coleman. He sends it down low. And he is not going to get it as they go up into the wall. Nicholas Sacco wins the Kansas 130. Nicholas Sacco wins. What a race by Nicholas Sacco. What a restart by him. And Beasley has Navarro. Oh, Navarro. Navarro. Whoa, Navarro's not happy.
Alrighty then.
Well, Adrian Navarro post-race bashing into Nicholas Sacco. Hear what's happened right there, but this is Andrew Navarro's last lap with Chad Coleman. Looking down low, trying to get it, and they're nose to tail of each other. He just gets edged out, and he finishes down in 5th place after spinning. And I think he's just not happy with what Nicholas Sacco did. Let's run on board, see if this was just pure intention. Oh, he downshifted directly into Okay. Post-race drama here in Kansas as Nicholas Sacco burns it down. Here in the butt kicker victory lane. As he immediately, there he goes, he's still going. Here in the butt kicker victory lane, Nicholas Sacco blows it up. Man, that is how you finish out a race with your car on fire. But Nicholas Sacco takes the victory here today. As we're just going the one second. Nicholas Sacco takes the win here today. As everything is just broken for me, but Nicholas Sacco takes the win ahead of Matthew Lee, Chad Coleman, Richard Beasley, Andrew Navarro, Gabriel Ellison, Greg Wellen, Wayne Lowe, Derek Fulton, Justin Michael, Rhett Tucker, Ryan Kendall, Tori Thompson, Clinton Castleberry, Bob Williams, and Brady LaBeouf at the end of the grid. But all eyes are on our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your defending champion and race winner here of the Kansas 130, Nicholas Sacco.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I didn't hear that whole part.
It was great. And how was that race? You waited until the very end, sick of being in second place, and well, you made it work for you. And on that restart, you got into the lead, and it all came down to Andrew Navarro getting a little bit loose. Talk us through that restart of that final stage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what happened going into 1 and 2. Either he got loose or he came down a little bit. I wasn't going to lift. I mean, I was sorry until he rammed into me at the end there. I'll take his money any day of the week now.
Yeah, that was the other question. Do you know why he kind of ran into you at the end? We did hear him downshift, so it wasn't an accidental one.
I mean, obviously, you didn't really appreciate what I did to him going into 1 and 2. I mean, I hate to win a race that way, but honestly, I mean, if you're going to act like that afterwards, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, I'll do it to him again next week now. I don't really care.
Well, some fighting words for you, but a win here at Kansas is very good. You get more points in the championship. How are you feeling after that win? Keep things on the positive.
I mean, I feel great, honestly. I mean, I gotta thank the Buddy Project. I gotta thank Old Farm Computers. I gotta thank Zero X Design for putting all the paints together, and being on the car this year. I mean, everyone that puts it together. You know, it's good to get a win for them. I hate to do it that way, but again, I'll look forward to next week.
All right, thank you, Nick, and you have a great afternoon, and congrats on the victory as Tyler is standing by with Matthew Lee.
Yep, and I'm here with Matthew Lee, and boy, that was you were given a hard charge there after having a really good run throughout the race. I mean, what was your thoughts when you were trying to catch up to Sacco and having a really good fight with Beasley there?
I kind of used up the tires coming through the field after. Yeah, kind of just didn't get the greatest fire off there on the restart. I really didn't have much chance with him when he had no damage and I had damage, and I knew I was a little slow, and then I really used the tires up trying to get by everyone and holding everybody off. So, did what I could.
With that strategy call though, after the damage you had, did your strategy change at all, especially coming near to that near to the beginning of the third stage when you knew you had the fuel, or were you just trying to figure out a way where you can be able to repair enough damage, especially after that contact on the right side?
Yeah, I didn't spend any time fixing any damage in the pits. I really just track position is pretty important, especially when that top line got going. We're pretty single file, and it's really hard to make some passes. I mean, I raced with a guy that was 2 laps down for the whole middle part of the race because just couldn't pass.
And heck of a run anyways for you, Matthew. I know looking towards next week, I believe, if Austin can remind me here, where are we at next week?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the replay of the pass to the lead.
The pass. I'm trying to think of what the next race is, but I mean, just mindset going into it is just gonna. Are you just gonna keep your mindset into just, I mean, looking at it race by race and trying to find a way to keep improving yourself? I mean, you've been running really great this season. I know you're looking at a playoff run too. Just what's your mindset going into next week?
Yeah, the biggest thing going into every race that I try to keep in mind is just keeping the car clean. I mean, you got to be pretty clean at the end of these races to have a chance to win the next one. So that's really the biggest thing I look at race by race.
Oh, heck of a run again for you, Matthew. We wish you luck next week. I'm definitely gonna hand the floor over to you real quick for some shout outs, because I know you definitely got some sponsors to shout out for.
Yeah, I really got to thank GTR Simulators, all the guys over at CGE Chassis, and Phantom Racing.
Well, great racing again for you. I know you would have loved to have that win, but I mean, still great recovery after having that contact in the outside wall, having a trying to hard fight. So great finish again for you, Matthew. We wish you luck next week as well.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate everything.
And I'm joined by Richard
And-
Beasley, who just had a amazing restart, charged from 6 on the grid all the way up to... I'm looking at this replay, and actually, no, he did not get third. He got fourth. But he did get third.
No, Beasley got third.
My entire timing screen is completely backwards, but Richard Beasley, he did get third. Not sure why my timing screen is showing in fourth, but he did get third place. I'll show you the screenshot in a little bit. But Richard, how was that restart, and how was that end of that race?
It's kind of what we expected. We kind of hung out mid-pack all race towards the back, just trying to stay out of trouble. And then right at the end, we went for it and got a good restart, able to get a couple spots. And I think I waited too long to get to the outside lane and lost a spot at the end there. But other than that, it couldn't have went any better than the way we planned it here tonight.
Yeah, when you're seeing yourself start in 6th place on that restart, were you a little bit disconcerted on how you're going to get up there into the podium? And you were looking a very good run for the lead as well after a spin. Just what was going through your mind on that restart?
I know I was restarting on the outside of Chad, and Chad didn't get a good restart. So when I saw he didn't get a good restart, I jumped down in front of him, and I knew I had the preferred lane coming out of 2 there, and we just stayed on the bottom and picked up as many spots as we could, and it worked out.
Well, it certainly worked out for you right there, finishing third here in Kansas. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys up in the booth here. You guys do a good job. Appreciate you guys. Everybody over at NRE Power Systems, the whole series we run over here on a Tuesday nights. We're still signing up people. If anyone out there in the chat wants to sign up and race, come on. I want to thank Todd, Tim's Corner Motorsports on the car. I want to thank Chad, Coleman, teammate, Greg Well, and those guys. Good run tonight for everybody.
A good night for you. Congrats on a 3rd place, Richard, and you have yourself a good night. I'm gonna throw it over to Tyler as we got the replay of the pass for the lead between Nicholas Sacco and Andrew Navarro. Tyler, walk us through what happens right here.
It was just Navarro tried to get that run off the backstretch, didn't get it to work, and then here comes Navarro with the run, sends it down low on the inside. Navarro makes it clean too. Here's what ends up happening next is as Sacco's trying to get the run out, you could see that Sacco trying to get that run, holding the line. Navarro cuts up a little late, and here goes Sacco diving it in.
Ooh,
barely.
There might have been contact right there.
There was contact there. You could see the contact on that left rear, and that's what sent Navarro way further back, and hence why Navarro got, as you can see there, ever so slightly, and then the net code adds more to it. But yeah, definitely some contact there on the left rear, and boy, and that's where that fuel started the fire there, with Navarro being a little upset, and boy. But it could have been a lot worse than the way it played out. But boy, that was, and then you can see the 3 wide there. But boy, that was. That's what a race, and the way they've got the stages switched from where the long run would be near the end. This switch though has brought a lot of drama and a lot of exciting racing as well.
A lot of exciting racing happened here tonight. We're going to let the drivers and all the driver coaches and admins talk about that incident on the track, as we're not part of the admin team. We're going to let them handle it like drivers and let it handle it between themselves. Thank you guys for watching the NRE Power Systems Cup Series here on Racecraft TV for the Kansas 130. I've been joined by Tyler Vickery. I'm Austin Knight. I hope y'all have a good night. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/artesianbuilds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.